This conference will now be recorded.
Don't you? I think so, yeah.
At 5:30 for
Way to
sure.
go, Dave.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
There are none.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda? All in favor? Aye. Oppose? Wow, it's echoing. It is. Let's move that away from me a little bit. Okay, meeting minutes from March 18th.
And I've already made the date correction on the top, but Kurt, you wait for me to send it back.
Okay,
You're telling me.
I'll second.
all in favor? Aye. Oppose? Motion's passed. Monthly financial report and accounts payable.
Financial report was not sent out. I didn't. We didn't get it done. But it is here now. If you have any questions that I could possibly answer. Or I can find the answer for you.
What's the Minnesota Department of Motor Vehicles? For loan collateral.
Is that the new car that the city got?
No, or would that be Annie's?
No, she's down here.
Oh.
Oh, no, that's right. No, you're correct on that. So we had to register her mobile home with the state.
Oh,
In order to do that, you had to send a check of $14 to Minnesota Motor Vehicles. Yes, thank you.
That makes
Right.
sense.
That makes a lot more sense.
I couldn't figure out what collateral would be.
Yeah. So we got her correct title and got that sent off. So
I'll make a motion to approve the monthly financial report.
second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's passed. No public hearings, old business, tulip tree marketing.
Yeah, so we kind of tabled this last meeting. I contacted Whitney West, underneath, at Tulip Tree. And, you know, one of the issues was getting our information out there, which we've spoken about quite a bit. And we've come to the conclusion that we're not going to do, obviously, Facebook posts anymore. I think we're in agreement of that. But the Google ads are a way to get it out there. I realize the price tag seems a bit, steep at $3,000. But she said the Google ads will get more people seeing your information. They will link them to Facebook to push them out. So it's almost, if it's something that the EDA would like to initiate and do, we can go ahead with it. If there's another way of doing it, advertisement. Like I said, I'm all ears. On Friday, I put the visitor guides around Rochester, the Galleria Theater, or the Galleria in Rochester, and down the subway, a couple of them illegally. As in I took out the Rochester visitor guides and put some Broda in one place, just one, not a lot, and I didn't steal them. I put them in I put the Rochester ones in a separate spot. So they're still there. So maybe it's not illegal. But the other places I put them there are legal. So that's one way of getting them out. And I still send them out to the Minnesota visitors places around the state. I just send them to the one down by La Crosse. Is it, shoot. Oh, it starts with a D. It's across river from La Crosse. And then I've recently mailed them out to Beaver Creek, Minnesota. Yeah. So, and so what we could do is if we want to go with this, we could kind of come up with a kind of a tagline or something to advertise about the city specifically, and bring your business here, build it what you want.
So we're just talking about the 3-month period.
Yeah. It'd have to be consecutive months. So that was one thing we talked about. Can we divide the months up? And I think last time we talked about if we did this, we'd do it kind of June, July, August before the festival, and they could advertise the festival at that time. And Tulip Tree would work with us on this, whatever we wanted to put through there.
Okay, so do they suggest ads to us and then we go, yeah, we like that, or that's not our thing, or how's that?
Yeah.
We don't have to come up with that, right? They-
We could come up with an idea of what we want them to.
and then they would say like, this is what we're thinking, and then we go, or do they just go if, once we kind of give them an idea?
I think if we gave them idea of what, like, 1 month we want to run this, second month, third month, they'd run with those.
Maybe just
Yeah.
put it on.
But they would be sent to us to see what it is we're sending out.
Before.
Yeah.
I'm not adverse to trying.
I don't have a strong feeling either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kurt, am I thinking right, so we're gonna pay the 3,135 and then plus 595 each month? Or is it just
No, that's a total.
the 3,135 would be what we would pay for those 3 months?
Right.
The monthly was the full Facebook, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was monthly total for Facebook's. Thank you.
Make a decision today?
I think we have to make a decision today if we're gonna want June, July, and August.
Yeah.
Okay, so I say, I'm good with that. I don't know what other people think. I'll make a motion that we try Tulip Tree and the Google Ads for 3 months.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
All right, I'll be in contact with Whitney, and when I get examples, I will send them to you, just so you can see them. And I'll bring them to the next meeting.
New business, pool grant.
All right, so we have the opportunity with CETA to write this Blanton Foundation grant. And we just submitted it today for $150,000.
Blanton or Blanton? So the Blanton Foundation out of.
Yeah, what's the whiskey?
Blanton.
Yeah, so it's not that one.
I was-
Because I couldn't say that.
That's all good.
So the city, as you know, the pool's a pretty big issue with, funding it. So the city at this point is roughly $3 million short. They had a meeting on the 16th to kind of go over some options with the pool, with the public. The three options are, number one,
Sorry,
reject.
Kurt, was that March 16th?
No, it was last week.
April 16th is tomorrow.
It was March 16th. That would work out better. No, it was April 8th. Wasn't April 8th?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure I'm paying attention.
April 16th. Okay. Now I-
It's the city council meeting.
Okay, that's all right.
April 16th is the city council meeting. So they had a public hearing on April 8th to talk about a possible tax abatement. So the three options the city council will talk about tomorrow are reject all bids with no pool, reject the bids and go back to voters for full funding, and then accept the bids and move forward with a possible tax abatement. And from what my understanding is, if they were to accept the bids and go with the tax abatement, and if they still fundraise and say we got this grant for $150,000, that would lower the amount that the public would pay. And there's not a time frame on that. So even though, there are different options here, we went ahead and applied for this grant for the pool. And it's basically, this is just information for you guys to know.
Question on it, is there like only 150 available, or are there, $1 million worth available and we applied for 150?
The most we could apply for was $150,000.
But is there more that this particular grant gives out than 150?
Yes, but they only give.
150 to each?
Yes, yeah, it's a pretty significant grant,
Okay.
in the millions, so, but as far as entities, that's what we get, the most we can apply for.
Okay, if there is no further discussion, we will move on to part B. the Zabel update.
I just got an email from Todd Fitz, who's in Cabo, so feel sorry for him. They had a meeting this morning and they're finalizing their deal with America's Best Inn. So as of right now, it looks like Zabel will, kind of their first action in Zumbrota will be acquiring America's Best Inn, and they would remodel and then advertise more. And so they'd be starting with that as, getting that hotel going.
Interesting building.
Existing building, yeah. And so I think that's a pretty good place to start, kind of get some moving. I haven't heard anything about the Covered Bridge restaurant. Anybody's heard? Because I know it's for sale and I brought the information last week. They have a meeting next week. I think it's at Wild Ginger, which we'll be at in the morning. I think it's Tuesday morning. And they'll keep talking about such things as a chamber. I kind of spoke to them about chamber because they have businesses that are at these meetings and it could kind of grow into a chamber of commerce. And so we'll kind of keep going from there. And they're in, as far as what Todd says, on board with that.
Interested in
Yeah.
participating in
Kind
that?
of and I don't know if it'd be a chamber at first, maybe just a group, but then it could grow from there. That's a good way to get those different businesses together. So that's just information on Zabel.
And then part C is movement of historical plaque.
Yeah, so I know you guys have all read the plaque that is over by Quick Trip, correct? Sure. Have you read it before? I have not. I know it's a plaque. It's a historical plaque and it's kind of out of space. The city has grown. That plaque's been there since 1961. The city has grown, and you can see in the pictures I provided, the sidewalk doesn't go by it anymore. So for somebody to go read, it's going to be pretty interesting. If you haven't read it before, I have a picture of it in here, and then I typed up what it says. And it doesn't say anything offensive to anybody by any means, because a lot of these historical plaques sometimes do. But I've been working with Jeff Myers, our Public Works Director, and he has the opportunity, he's got a project where he only needs to use half a yard of concrete, and he needs something to do with the other yard, their half of concrete. So we thought about maybe replacing that plaque down here by the bridge where people will see it. So you have those two historical plaques by the bridge, and this one would fit very nice right there to the right of of one of those plaques. I contacted the Historical Society, and that's fine, but I kind of like to stay away from it because anytime you move a historical plaque, they want to reword it. And honestly, I don't know of anything that is offensive about. The only thing I thought was impressive is when you read this plaque, let's see. So it talks about the old covered bridge. It was gateway to the town of which hundreds of wagon loads of wheat were transported annually on the way to market, and a favorite haunt for young couples until village council ordered a kerosene lamp hung in the center. So apparently there was a lot of children conceived in the covered bridge back in the day. I don't know if that's offensive or not, but I think it's a pretty fun thing to read about. So the one thing about this marks the Dubuque St. Paul Trail, which went down East Avenue. So if we did move this plaque, and what I mean by moving it, that foundation that plaque is on, Jeff has gone over, and it goes down several feet. And it's not moving because our first thought was, Jeff said, well, we can get Schumachers, they'll come in and just lift it up and bring it over and set it down. And he started digging around it, and that's not gonna happen. So what we may end up doing is taking the plaque and, taking it off this monument and having a new monument done here and put the plaque on it. And we make sure to say this plaque was originally located at that spot, which marked the trail, so everybody knows where that was. And then if we can find, we've got the name of a person who may do the stonework, and I'm gonna call and talk. If we could get that person to do the stonework really cheap, or maybe even pro bono by putting his name on the stonework, which would be there forever, that might be a benefit to him, and I'll speak to them when I get a chance. Dale Thorpe was his name.
I'm guessing Dale does not want his name on the monument, but
Oh, okay.
that's all right.
Yeah,
He is
we
a
got the
great
name.
guy though, so,
we got the name from Jake, so.
yeah.
So you think he'd be up for doing that or?
He's retired now. I don't know that he's doing a whole lot anymore in his,
Yeah, like I said, I'll give him a
with his skill, so.
call to see, because that'd be one way we could pretty much do this as cheap as possible, you know, and don't have to worry about the historical society taking a look at it. And then people would actually see the plaque, you know? It tells why its name's Zumbrota. The first settlers came here from Lowell, Massachusetts in 1856. Yeah, it's a good little history and it'd be fit right in with what we got out here.
What's the intent with that land out there then?
That's a park, technically. So that's a great question. To move it from parkland, it's a process to move parkland to be sold, because I think the city has no use for that land. And there are people who would be interested in buying that land.
I personally think having that green space as you drive into Zumbrota is kind of nice
Yeah.
instead of having another building. But I guess the question would be, that would be a great spot. I mean, the thing that they display the championships on.
Yeah.
That could be improved, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, that'd be a great spot for somebody to rest. I mean, Quick Trip is right there. They got food. It'd be a really nice,
Like they get into a park.
make it into a park.
Yeah.
Nothing special, but you know, a shelter that they could sit under with a picnic table on it and maybe something else back there, a fence or something to put those championships on or something like that, like a ball field type.
The idea of like a digital sign came up.
That's
You
been
could
brought up
Put stuff on.
years ago
What's
when
that?
Rich was here, putting
The,
up the championship
oh,
plaques.
yeah, make it more,
Make it more visible. If you had a fence that kind of blocked off the view from where all those buildings are being sold right now, and you could put the championships on the fence, kind of like a ball field, if you would, of some type, but I don't know.
yeah.
It just seems like
Even
it'd be,
school owns those.
yeah, which is fine, yeah. But it just seems like that should be a usable spot for visitors coming to town,
Mhm.
because Quick Trip gets so many people in there. And they stop and rest, walk their dogs and whatever.
Yeah, it sure does. It is a busy
But
spot.
then the plaque would be okay where it is if people would see it. That's my point.
Yeah,
But it's also moving it down here would not be a big problem. I mean, it's a problem, but it'd be a good idea too.
yeah, obviously we're in the beginning stages of this.
Yep.
Since we found out we can't just pick it up.
Thanks for writing this all out for us so we can read it. Fine.
Yeah, I know, because I took a picture. Yeah, now you can read the history of your hometown. But yeah, it's in the
Take that
process.
to the park board then?
If we kind of move forward with it, yeah, it would have,
That's a park board. thing,
because this
just
isn't
more for
considered
information.
park out here, like this side where it is, but taking it from the parkland. Yeah. Yep, that would go with it.
If there's no more discussion on that, we'll move on to reports and the KB apartment update.
Yeah, as you can probably see, the KB apartments, there's a fence up now and they're starting demolition this week. Start to see that. That's the extent of my knowledge of what's going on in KB apartments. Yeah.
Well, if there is nothing else, we can adjourn.
All right.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, Carol's going.
I can't either.